this is my 2021 Cadillac Escalade. I've had it for a little over a month, driven it a little more than 1,000 miles, had some time to get to know it. So today we're going to take a look at the things I like about it and the things I don't like about it. So we're actually going to kind of gloss over some of the good stuff right away. So it's a Cadillac. It rides like you would expect a Cadillac to ride like. It's really smooth, really quiet inside. It's also really nice in there. I'm pretty sure all of the internet agrees that the interior is pretty good, This is the short version of the Escalade, so not the ESV or the Suburban size, it's the smaller one. But it's really not that small, so this year's Escalade is 7 inches longer than the prior year's Escalade, which kind of led to one of our first problems here. So this is, I think it's standard size single car garage, and we had put my parents' Tahoe in here a few times and it fit just fine, but the Escalade is so long it sticks up over this lip here, and I had to redo all of my shelving here to make room so the nose can go right in there. The width of the garage is also a problem. So to get this thing in here, you have to fold in the mirrors, and it's a little nerve-wracking trying to get that thing in there. Whenever the car is locked, you can go to any door, press the little button inside the handle there, and if you have the key fob in your pocket, like I do, the doors will unlock, which I like much better than the Raptor over here. It has a similar thing with the key fob, but it only works in the front doors. If you try and unlock the back doors with the keys in your pocket, it doesn't open. It's +1 for the Caddy. Also, as you may have just seen, one of the options in the little infotainment menu is to have the mirrors fold in whenever you lock the car. And one of the things I like about the mirrors closing with locking the car is that it's a visual indicator that the car's locked. So let's say you lock your car, you walk away, you're not sure if it's locked or not, you can just look back and see your mirrors are folded in and you know it's locked. You don't have to press the key fob 10 times and get it to beep and you're too far away. No, it doesn't work. Another feature is you can hold the unlock button and all of your windows will roll down. I used to have this feature on my old 350Z and I loved it, and there's just like, the Raptor doesn't do it. I don't think the Corvette does it. The 55 definitely doesn't do it. I just think that's a good feature to have. Like, it's a nice day out, you want all your windows down. There should just be, well, even in addition to the key fob, I think there should be a button inside the car. On like all cars, you can press the button like good weather mode and all of your windows roll down. And they also go back up. This is the sport trim, meaning that some of the black around the car is, well, it's black instead of being shiny like the other models. The thing is though, even when you order the sport trim, they still give you this shiny Cadillac logo. Got this one too. This guy back here, all this shiny lettering. Like, if you're gonna go with black trim, let's go with black trim. There is something called the Onyx package that you can order that blacks out like the Escalade name. They give you a monochrome emblem that doesn't have any color in it. It's just different shades of silver. It's an extra $2,200. You also get black wheels with it. But one, our dealer wouldn't let us order that. They said it takes more time to get your Escalade in. And two, I can black out stuff myself. So if you want to see blacking out stuff on an Escalade, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're going to be doing that real soon. Another option this car has that we didn't necessarily want, but we had to get, which we'll tell you more about in a minute, is soft closed doors. So let's say you have a very important executive you don't want to slam the door on, or maybe a screaming toddler or sleeping toddler. You just kind of gently close the door, and then it closes itself the rest of the way. I don't know, kind of cool, not necessary. To open the rear door, you just press the Cadillac emblem, which is kind of cool. And these rear floor mats are pretty cool, except for the fact that, as you can see, they're already falling off in the Texas heat. Like, these are the GM mats, and the way they attach them is you have these little Velcro things that they want you to put your sticky Velcro on carpet. Like, who thought that was gonna work? There's no way that's gonna work. So I'm just gonna have to find out another way to secure those, I suppose. If anybody has any ideas, let me know. But the cool thing about them is whenever you fold the seats down, the floor mats slide out. They're on the back of the seats, and then that way if you spill anything, have anything dirty, it gets caught, and the back of your seats aren't all gross unless your floor mat falls off. So whatever, they're cool. Escalade also has some pretty cool lighting at night. It does some light shows for you as you walk up to the car. It puts a little Cadillac logo on the ground where you're supposed to kick your foot to open the rear hatch. And it's got some pretty cool LEDs that you can change inside. Again, this is all super unnecessary, just kind of nice touch. You got some nice LED lighting under the seats too, so you can see all the crushed goldfish that your children have stuffed up under there. All right, so let's move into the Escalade, because that's where you spend most of your time and where I think most of the things I like and dislike are. So the car comes with 2 key fobs, and you can program the car to have different home screen layouts and different seat settings and stuff like that whenever different keys get in the car. We had a lot of trouble setting that up right when we got the car, and apparently it's just like a GM bug thing. Like, you have to wait a few hours, at least a few hours after you get the car in order to start doing that stuff, because it like links up to the computers and they don't know you bought the car yet and stuff like that. So if you're having trouble with yours, just give it 6 hours a day. Ours worked later that night, the same day we got the car. Got a lot of buttons up here. Some of them are 3rd row seat buttons, so you can fold the 3rd row seats down from up in the front of the car. I don't really know why you'd want to do that, but it's a thing you can do. They also go back up. There's this thing called automatic entry egress, and it's kind of like a kneeling bus. So this Escalade has the air suspension, so what it can do is it can raise and lower your car. So whenever you hit park and you get out of the car, it will lower the car down. And when you put the car back into drive, it will raise the car up to drive height. So you can actually do that manually over here. We got some buttons here, so let's go down. We're at normal right now. We'll go down to entry exit clearance. We are now lowering. And the only bad thing about this is we had this turned on the very first day we got the car. We went out to Olive Garden that night, as you do every time you buy a new car. Just like, don't ask, it's just what we do, it's weird. And so we put the car into reverse to back out of our parking spot, and we hear this giant scrape. It doesn't raise as quick as it needs to, so it's turned off now. And then let's go back up to off-road mode. Increase ground clearance. This thing actually does have an off-road mode. Let's, you got sport, off-road, and tow haul. Yeah, so this one has 4-wheel drive. There's a little bit of a story behind that. So whenever we were picking this car out, they're kind of expensive to begin with. So I told my wife, you pick an option and I'll pick an option, and we'll just get 2 options, that's it. So she picked the seats that you see here. It's about a $2,000 option. It's, I'd say, a little bit much for some quilted seats, but whatever, that was her choice. I chose Super Cruise, so this car will drive itself. Now, Super Cruise is super misleading the way they put it on Cadillac's website. So you go to build out a car, and it says Super Cruise is a $2,500 option, which is, it's a great deal for a car that drives itself. The thing is, you have to get a bunch of other stuff to make Super Cruise work. So first of all, you can't have the base Escalade. You have to choose something other than the base Escalade. So we chose the sport trim because we liked the black stuff on the car. That just starts you. You also have to get the driver assist package, which gives you stuff like extra braking and adaptive cruise control and that sort of stuff. That's another $6,000. Our dealer told us that you also had to get 4-wheel drive in order to get Super Cruise. When you build it out on Cadillac's website, you don't have to get 4-wheel drive. So if you add all that stuff together, the price to actually get Super Cruise is not $2,500, it's more like $22,000. So my option turned out to be a little bit more expensive than my wife's option. So there's a lot to be said about the dash here and the infotainment system. So this side and that side over there are both touchscreens, so you can scroll, you can press the buttons for your apps and stuff, you can rearrange all of them, you can put your most frequently used ones over here on the side, which is pretty good. Apparently I have to agree to some terms.
Estimated time 12 minutes, so this should take about 5 or 10 minutes.
It is super customizable. So you have all these settings for like all the different systems that are in the car, like the lighting, you can change the dash lighting, you can change, there's ride height settings, seat settings, all sorts of stuff in here. So this thing has wireless CarPlay, so it's pretty cool. You don't have to plug it in, you can just take your phone, you can throw it in the little wireless charger spot over there. It will stay charged up while you're listening to your tunes. The one thing I don't like about the CarPlay screen though is like it's still this square here in this like angly screen. I feel like they could have done something like like do a blur or something and fill it out more, but that's just the way it is. It works just fine. The navigation's pretty good. It has augmented reality navigation, so let's go for a little bit of a drive real quick. So it puts this nice little arrow on the screen here. It'll also tell you what lane you need to be in on a highway, and as you get closer, the arrow gets bigger, so you know exactly where to turn. It does not work with your CarPlay navigation, though. It only works with the GM navigation. This touchscreen over here, you've got your trip meter, trip 1, trip 2, I don't know, blank screen for some reason. You can change your dashboard here. So we've got, I like to keep it on the augmented reality camera. You can put your GPS up here. So you got your directions there right in front of you. You can also just go do a traditional gauge. Guess you got your music over there too. Who put Call Me Maybe on? Another thing I don't like about this car is that the range is just freaking abysmal. Like, look at this. Oh, there we go. We have 40 miles until we're empty. Let's go get some gas. And so while we're getting gas, one of the first things my brother noticed about this car was the size of the fuel door here. He goes, it's as big as a dinner plate. So there's one of my dinner plates, and like, it's literally that big. He wasn't wrong. I guess the reason for that is you can get a diesel engine in these, and I guess your little diesel fluid would go over there. Oh, wait. That's not right. So we are now completely full, and we have, get there, 321 miles worth of range, which, to be honest, isn't the best. So this car has a 24-gallon fuel tank. We're getting, here you go, 12.2 miles to the gallon. The Raptor, actually, I think it gets somewhere around the same, but it has a 36-gallon fuel tank, so it goes a lot farther, and when you have that distance with one car and then you don't have it with another car, you do actually kind of miss it. So I wish the fuel tank on this was a little bit bigger, and actually if you get the extended version, it does come with a bigger, I think, 28-gallon fuel tank. And we are heading out to the highway to show y'all how Super Cruise works real quick. Actually, I think I'm gonna do a whole video on Super Cruise, so hit subscribe to stay tuned for that, but we'll show you just real quick. Hey, do y'all remember that time that I promised you a Super Cruise demonstration and then we got into traffic in a construction zone? It's right about now. You know what, let's try it anyway. So, cruise control on. We're on a Super Cruise highway and we'll hit our Super Cruise button. And we are now Super Cruising in traffic. I have no idea how this is gonna work. Alright, let's kick it up to... That's another cool thing, this cruise control here, you can either like tap up once and it'll do 1 mile an hour, or you do like the whole way past the D10 and just 5 miles an hour at a time. Kind of convenient. So we got our cruise control set to 70, we're doing 34 behind a van in traffic. And it should increase speed as the traffic clears up. So first time I did this, totally uneasy. I was like trying to grab the wheel every 3 seconds, and now I'll go and I'll get in a car that doesn't have Super Cruise, and I'll set the cruise control and just let go of the wheel. It's kind of a problem. Look, Ma, no hands. So Super Cruise will also go all the way down to 0, and it did it once, but I didn't get it on camera, and here we only got to 2. So close.
Fireworks or a race car. Doesn't have to be a race car.
Okay, so automatic parking assist is another pretty cool feature that this has. So you can have it park you parallel, you can have it park you perpendicular, on the left side or the right side. You choose whatever you want. You start going, the car will find a spot and then park you. It's also slightly ridiculous because watch how it does it. All right, so here we are in a really wide, open parking lot. Guess where it's gonna park us? Okay, so we want to park perpendicular on the right side. Let's start looking for a spot. There's a bunch of spots right there. No. guess it doesn't want that one. What about this one right here? Nope. Nope. Still searching. Still searching. Oh. It found one. Look, it's right next to this truck. Yeah, so it parked us right next to another car in a wide open parking lot. And I mean, we're kind of in the lines, I guess. I hear it does well in tight spaces, so maybe this is more for a city setting on the street, a really tight parking lot, something like that. But I'm not sure I'm gonna be using it too much. It tows pretty well. It's got a 6.2 liter V8, 420 horsepower, so it's got the power. 7,500 pound tow rating. The only thing is, the dealer, they said, you probably don't want to tow too often. And I was like, why? And he was like, well, this plastic cover on the rear, you don't want to take it on and off too much. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, you could break it. And I was like, what? I mean, I guess you don't get an Escalade to tow, but I mean, whatever, it hasn't broken yet. The only bad thing about towing isn't really towing itself, but hooking up to a trailer hitch. So you've got your handy dandy camera right here, right? But as you get closer to the trailer hitch, oh, see that the little guy starting to appear right there? I guess it thinks there's like a person behind you, and so it starts flashing. And whenever you get right up to the hitch, you can't really see anything because it's flashing right where you want to see. Not cool. The great thing about it though is that once you're hooked up, the air ride suspension keeps it dead level. Like the suspension doesn't sag at all, unlike the Raptor, which squats in the rear end. And the very last thing I don't like about the Escalade, and this is a big one, is right in here. So we were in the finance office at the dealership, and the girl in there, she was trying to upsell us on all of the packages they offer, and she was trying to sell us an oil change package. She goes, I heard you like to work on cars yourself. I was like, as a matter of fact, I do. She goes, well, on this car, if you change the oil yourself, you might void your warranty. I was like, what? And she said, yeah, you might. If you do it wrong, you can void your warranty. What? She was like, yeah, you should be really careful. You don't want to void your warranty by changing your oil. Okay. So hate to break it to you, I'm gonna be doing my own oil changes. Guess I'm just gonna void my warranty. So don't forget about that subscribe button to stay tuned for blacking out all color on the Escalade, and also the video about Super Cruise. So until next time, just remember, if you buy an Escalade, you're gonna have some really nice captain's chairs in the back that can recline. They're super comfortable, but unfortunately, they're both gonna be filled with car seats. See you later.